starting goalies know each other well for Manitoba, Eric Comrie.
Yeah, they were battery mates last year, and Eric Comrie, the pride of Edmonton, Alberta, 19-13-4, and he is looking to backstop his club as they kick off a Canadian road trip here of 6 games through Toronto and Laval and Belleville. And down at the far end, you've got Michael Hutchinson, the Barrie native, and he came in relief on Monday afternoon after Kaskasuo gave up a pair of goals. He let it just one in on that huge victory against the Syracuse Crunch at Scotiabank Arena here in Toronto.
Pascal Vincent, Coach of the Year last season, and he leads the Manitoba Moose. The other side, it is Sheldon Keefe, of course, in his 4th season here with the Toronto Marlies. His record this season, you see, he's got 27 wins so far, but he is looking for just a few more here at home. The Marlies only 13-10-4 this season so far as they work on a glass repair in the corner to start things out. I think they've finished it up, and they are ready to roll here at Coca-Cola Coliseum. The referee this afternoon, Mike Markovic, Guillaume Levante, the linesman Kyle Flemington, and Jean-Francois Menard. Let's get at some hockey on a school day here in Toronto. Josh Juris off the draw, working with Colin Greening on the left. And Griffin Molino on the right. As it comes back up to the blue line, they drop it down into the corner. Moose get control of it, but Vincent Loverde brings it back out. He works with Callie Rosen this afternoon. Rosen, sharp one to Loverde, and then back up through the middle. And Rosen tried to tip it back in, but then he had Logan Shaw in behind him, and he had to have a quick eye to Shaw. He has been dangerous for the Moose. And around behind Rosen goes for it. A quick opening shift. And some new bodies hit the ice, including Trevor Moore. Adam Brooks out as well. And off the boards it goes. Brooks captures it, comes back to center. Trying to follow it up was Liljegren. He picks it up now across the line. Lets one fly. And that one goes over the snowbank early. 53 seconds into the first period.
Well, and Sheldon Keefe talking before the game about producing more offense 5-on-5, and you know, it's interesting because you've got to make adjustments through injuries and guys leaving your hockey club. And, you know, you lose Sam Gagne, you lose Carl Grundstrom in the trade to the LA Kings for Muzzin. You know, it's something where, and then Chris Mueller, who's injured as well, their top scorer. And it is something where you've got to have other guys step up when it's 5-on-5 because their power play's got the job done, but you can't rely just on that.
Coming back in, here's a chance. O'Reilly fired it over, comes back out and hits Bracco. Wide of the mark, that shot.
Well, that was a terrific defensive play by Adam Brooks, who's been hot of late with 3 goals in his last 2 games, but a tremendous defensive job right there with a good stick in the lane.
Well, they don't like how that puck got in there. The Marlies touch up. It allows the Moose to get a hold of it. Marlies being outscored this season 106-111, 5-on-5. Back onto the backhand of Carconi. Up through the middle. Pierre Engvall drops it in, but he had Carconi breaking off. He didn't want to put himself offside. Comrie gets it in the glove and hangs on not 2 minutes into this first period.
Well, Adam Brooks, the Winnipeg native, who had a couple of goals on Family Day here in Toronto with that huge victory against the Syracuse Crunch, and coming back, a good stick in the lane, redirects that puck, not allowing it to get to the Manitoba Moose, who are looking to try and get the first tally here at the Coca-Cola Coliseum this morning. And you know, an 11 a.m. game, you wonder what you're going to get. Both coaches, I don't know how my team is going to respond, but I always thought, myself as a player, I would have liked these games because you always practiced around 11 o'clock in the morning, so your body's used to getting to work at this time. And we're going to see the Marlies are going to end up
Alexi
in the penalty box, and a bit of an injured player down. Skylar McKenzie goes down, and the first penalty of the hockey game is going to go against the Toronto Marlies, and it's going to be Steve Oleksy, who's playing in his 400th American Hockey League game here today. is going to be in the box. As we'll get another look at the top of your screen, and Alexei gets his right leg out a little bit, and that's going to go to the right knee, I believe, of Skylar McKenzie, and the Sherwood Park, Alberta native is shaken up as he gets helped up by one of his teammates and also the trainer. And we'll keep an eye on him to see if he can shake this off and get back into the game, because we're just 2 minutes in, and you never like to see anybody go down with an injury and have to leave, especially this early.
No, and I don't know if they're going to take him. They're going to take him straight down into the Zamboni tunnel and off the ice into the room to get a look here. It is his right leg that he is favoring.
Yeah, it's knee to knee as Alexei gets caught maybe a little bit flat-footed at the defensive blue line for Toronto in the neutral zone, and it's a natural reaction so often for players to throw the leg out, and it's unfortunate, but McKenzie's going to be helped to the dressing room, and with the way he's hobbling off there, it's going to be surprising to see whether he's going to come back or not. Nonetheless, the power play will get going here 2 minutes into the game for the Manitoba Moose, looking to see if they can score first in this one.
15.7% the Manitoba power play this season. On the road, 13.8%. A turn there and off the pads as Greening got to it and then steamrolled his man, and Loverde gives it back. Marincin up to the line, not out. Back to Spacek, shot off the skates of Loverde, and up it comes back out to Schilling. He backs up looking for options as Josh Juris gives him a little bit of trouble, and then he moves it quickly. Dano drops it back. Spacek back through the middle. Dano gets it right back, trying to feed it in, and they don't like the look of that one and how it got inside the zone. So they'll bring it back out and offside.
Well, your best penalty killer has to be your goaltender, and Michael Hutchison comes up with a save here right off the get-go as the Moose win the face-off, and the little play and the one-time shot by Logan Shaw, and then Vincent Laverde with the block as well, as we get back to it for the Moose as their power play will continue.
Schilling gaining speed from behind the goal. Drops it back. Up through the middle and across the line. That is off into the corner. Played back up for Dano again. Schilling tries a shot, doesn't get through, gets it back. Spacek again on the half board. Back up to Schilling at the line to the far side. That shot in, knocked away by Loverde into the corner, but the Moose get a hold of it. Adam Brooks trying to get after it quick. Picked up along the board, doesn't get out, but Moore has a free run now with Brooks. Here comes Trevor Moore, Main Street, and then just could not get it to the backhand.
Well, I'll tell you, what an effort by Cameron Schilling, as I think he gets his stick on the stick of Moore. But Trevor Moore, I think he was looking to see if Brooks was going to be with him, and he wanted to make a pass instead of being selfish on that play when you've got a short-handed tally. Take it to the goal, but nonetheless, the Manitoba Moose unscathed as they cough up almost a 2-on-0 type play for the Marlies while shorthanded.
Sandin. Here's Rosen up. Oligny keeps it in. Wanted to wind up there, cross ice. Lepon waits on the backside. That was a sharp pass, looking for an open man on the near side, and Harkins didn't find him. And then right back in. Hutchinson slows it down. Rasmus Sandin finds some room, back to 5-on-5. Pierre Engvall tossing it along to Rosen. High off the glass, it clatters behind, but Comrie is able to stop it. He moves it along, but Carconi centering it. Timoshaw will grab it up and back to Carconi in the corner. He is knocked down hard, Gerard, but it comes back up and out. Hunter Fegis on a run for it. Knocked away from him. Gerard sends it in. Goes to the goal, but it is picked up by Calle Rosen, and Carconi is there to pick it up. Right back to Liljegren. Across the line. He's got help in Timoshaw. Tried to move it back up to him, but it converged on him quickly. Some debris on the ice to the right of the goaltender, Comrie. Back up in a battle behind the play. Carconi involved in it. In it goes. Hutchinson will play it. As Liljegren tried to get a piece of it. Shaw played it out front. Turn around, and that one dipped into the corner. Stanley convinces it to get down just a little bit further. Holding on to his man in the corner was Loverde, but it comes loose. Timashov along the boards, gets squeezed there and a hit, but he makes the play to get it up and out. 5.5 into this first period, no score. Here's Dano. A couple of sticks on it from Gabriel Gagne and Brady Ferguson. Lifted in. Hutchinson stops it up. Sandin. And he looked for an escape route. And he found it. But Gagne unable to get it back across the line. Spacek winds up. Big shot, and what a block by Ferguson as it travels into the fourth row for the kids here in attendance on a school day game.
Well, we're going to go back and look at the Toronto Marley penalty kill as they end up with a breakaway as they get the turnover, and Trevor Moore looks like he's off to the races, and the battle back right there by the defenseman Cameron Schilling. Outstanding work by him as the puck gets turned over as he tries to keep it in, and Trevor Moore legging it out. He's got the breakaway. He wants to make the move on the backhand on the goaltender Comrie, but he doesn't get the shot away because of the tremendous effort and a good stick by Schilling to get his on top of Moore's.
Might have been the best chance in the period so far, and the shots are only at one apiece. Here's Jeremy Bracco. Cross ice, finding Moore again. Trevor Moore out front. A thumper off the left pad, and it is gobbled up by Comrie. No score here yet for the kids who have got out of school and got themselves some hockey.
Well, the American Hockey League is all about growth and development, and that's exactly when you look at Jeremy Bracco, Trevor Moore, and Adam Brooks. Brooks and Bracco in their second year, Moore in his third, and they have really come on this season when you look at how their points per game has increased. And I guess first and foremost, Jeremy Bracco, who's third in the American Hockey League in scoring and most assists in the American Hockey League, as he's now got over a point a game, and good on the second-year pro who has been outstanding all year long and taken his game to another level.
Well, what they ask of him is to perform well without Chris Mueller. He's done just that. He has been a driver of performance, and that is what you continue to look for on the growth curve. Be the player that makes other players better. Here's Schilling. Off ice. Liljegren got a stick on it and then took it away from Fegis. As Bracco sends it in. Sandin trying to get away. Finds Liljegren. Stops up and gives it right back to Rasmus Sandin. Ahead intended for Bracco. Sandin just thought he might escape with it, but he did not. Fegis into the glove. A sharp one, but Hutchinson saw it the whole way.
Well, Hunter Fegis, who played 4 games for the Toronto Marlies last year after his call up from the ECHL, and he tries to go short side top shelf on Toronto goaltender Michael Hutchinson, and Hutchinson comes out, cuts the angle down, and makes sure he gets that glove in the way, and no second opportunity for the Moose, as both of these clubs looking for the first goal of the hockey game.
Not a lot of shots, but a couple of opportunities, and good defensive play was going to be required for the Manitoba Moose. They are facing the team that has more goals in the American Hockey League than any other in the Toronto Marlies, 185. As Loverde picks it up and moves it along. Molino trying to quickly get it out, and reaching was Juris. Loverde back to the near side. Molino will have to rush to get to this one, and he does. Down the right side and into the corner. Greening will battle for this. Baudouin in there for the Moose. And picked up by Juris. He eases it back out. Rosen looked like he wanted to wind up and take that shot, and around it goes into the corner as Greening comes back to it. Greening again. This one up, and Juris thought he might get a good opportunity, but I think Greening was looking more to Loverde to get that puck on goal. Out front it comes, little backhand Juris, and we've got a penalty coming up. And this is what possession will bring you. Opportunities on the power play. Holding the call here.
Well, and it's going to be the first opportunity for the Toronto Marlies here in the hockey game, and you called it, Todd, in the fact that when you gain possession in the offensive zone, get your cycle game going, it ends up drawing penalties in your favor. And Justin Woods, the culprit, who gets the free hand wrapped around the Toronto player, and as a result, the Marlies will head to the power play. And their power play has been tremendous. 2 for 3 on Monday afternoon at the Scotiabank Arena, and now 23.5% coming into the game today.
Bracco picking it up. Lines in, shot out front. Moore tries to collect it, and it is picked up out of the business. And Bracco looks again. He's below the hash marks and back up to the blue line. Rosen gives it back to Bracco toward the goal. Redirected over to Carcone, and then he sends that one up and over the wall as Justin Woods looks on anxiously here.
Well, Michael Carcone shaking his head a little bit, but the Marlies with good puck movement and pedaling to the middle of the ice is Calle Rosen. He switches it over to Jeremy Bracco, and it hits off a Manitoba player and bounces to Michael Carcone, but it gets deflected up and over the glass. So we'll continue with 1:37 to go on the power play here for Toronto.
Here's Brooks in the circle, wins it back, finds Rosen. Bracco rotates around, gets in close, backside shot, scores! Carcone opens it up on the power play for the Toronto Marlies, and the kids get on their feet.
Well, Michael Carcone has been playing some good hockey of late after coming back from a concussion where he missed 7 games. And you win a face-off on the power play, a little play, but it's Jeremy Bracco who is the guy with the vision and the passing ability, and he shows it right there through the seam of the Moose penalty killers right onto the tape of Carcone, and he makes no mistake of getting it by goaltender Eric Comrie before he can go from his left to his right, and the Toronto Marlies power play makes it a 1-0 hockey game on the 13th of the season for Michael Carcone.
His 30th point, too. Came over from Utica. Carcone sends that one back along for Sandin. Once again, the Marlies with the extra man. Handball back behind his own goal. Steps away from one. Trying to get through another, but he hands it right over. Now Harkins 2-on-1. What a save as Hutchinson gets across and puts the pad to the business. And Sandin moves it along to Carcone as the Marlies try to transition back off that opportunity.
Jimmy O'Ligney shaking his head as he got a terrific pass from Harkins, and he couldn't capitalize and get it up and over that left pad of Michael Hutchison, the Toronto goaltender.
Here's Timashov with speed. He draws a crowd and heads off into the corner after it. Picked up. Ferguson on the backhand. Marincin lines it up, and it skips and hops, but it does not find the target. Around behind, Ferguson takes a shot. He's got it on the backhand as he tries to move it back out. He does get it up to Tanner McMaster, and again Marincin with the launch. And that's off the goaltender Comrie. Back up it comes. Marincin. Now McMaster puts it off the wall. Marincin trying to draw it into the corner. Ferguson comes after it. It pops up. And now everybody's searching for it along the wall as Marincin sends it back to Loverde. That is looking for Ferguson to get the tip. He never did quite get it where he wanted to as Loverde looks in again. Trying to get the tip in was Marincin, but he's hooked on the play, and the Moose will find themselves down a man again.
Well, and this time it's going to be Seth Griffith, the former Marlie, taking a seat for a hooking call, and again the Marlies trying to control the puck in the offensive zone and using his stick to try and hold up the Marlie player is Seth Griffith, and as a result it is going to be the opportunity for Toronto to go right back to the power play after a 1-0 lead. And a little bit earlier on the play it was a terrific opportunity for the Manitoba Moose to tie this game up after a turnover by Engvall, and Michael Hutchison turning it aside.
Here's Carcone trying to dash through 2, but he has it taken away as they send it back for a little bit more cooking up. Bracco hangs on. Oh, he's doing a lot. Just to get it in as Eric Comrie tries to move it. That was not sent back out, and at the point, Bracco moves it down the wall. Carcone banks it back up to Rosen. Now they spread it out, and Bracco draws down below the hash marks. Out of the corner, sharp back up to Rosen. Bracco finds it again. Out front, he was looking for that high tip from Trevor Moore. A couple of bounces back, forth and back, and it finds its way to the Marlies again. Carcone back. Rosen waits, shoots, and that one misses as it comes back to the near boards. Bracco below the hash marks again. Looking out front. Back up high to Rosen. Moore and Brooks out front. Carcone back to Rosen. Hangs on, looks, shoots, and that one off the blocker of Comrie as Carcone comes to the corner, and Moore sends it back up to Rosen again. Bracco draws down in. Makes a move towards the face-off circle, side of the goal. Brooks looking to capture it. And as it gets in behind the goal, they do not clear it again. The Moose, their penalty killers, have been out there a while. Bracco missed that one. And back down the ice it goes, and that allows everybody to make a change. But a good long shift by the #1 power play unit as they held the zone. It is Liljegren who comes cross ice looking for Tanner McMaster, and he gives it over in a disjointed entry, but it comes back to Engvall, who gives it to Liljegren. Getting it down into Tanner McMaster. And now the penalty to Griffith has expired, but the Marlies still in possession of the puck. Timashov draws in, shot off the goaltender and back up. It'll find its way out in front of the bench of the Moose. Liljegren again. This time onto the stick of Ferguson. He's got Timashov out front. McMaster follows it up, and he gets a good shot away, but the goaltender better on as Ferguson gets it back to Timashov. He does some dancing. Sandin, long shot, and they like that from Rasmus Sandin, but Eric Comrie had an eye to it. 7:52 left to go. We'll be back in the first.
Well, the Toronto Marlies power play doesn't click the second time, but after it, they can continue to keep their foot on the gas pedal as they get offensive zone time and some chances. And it ended up the third time with Rasmus Sandin, one-time shot from the blue line. Eric Comrie gloves it and says, "I've had enough, we need a break." And the Moose goaltenders had a lot of pressure here in the last few minutes. His shots now 9-2 favoring the Marlies, and they continue with a 1-0 advantage here against the Manitoba Moose.
Brooks in the circle. Opposite as they don't like anything to do with that. Logan Shaw will be asked to vacate. They'll find a new partner, and it'll be Seth Griffith as Adam Brooks leans in. It's Griffith getting some education. He's a veteran, and it is finally dropped back up to Sandin as he drops it back to Moore. That one skitters back over to Griffith. He's always dangerous, looking to make the play. Shoots, and that is up and over the net off of Hutchinson. And now a penalty coming up to the Toronto Marlies. On the play, a holding call. And
well, through the neutral zone, when there's a turnover, it spells outnumbered chances, and Griffith thought he was going to have a 2-on-1 break, and through the neutral zone, it's Jimmy Oligny getting held up by Trevor Moore, and as a result, the Manitoba Moose will go to their second power play here of period number 1, looking to see if they can even this score up at ones.
Josh Juris has a look in at it. He's been awfully good on the PK. Colin Greening out there, who drew the last penalty, actually. The Toronto Marlies. Two of them have been together all year on the PK. Off the draw. This one comes back up to the point. To the far wall, Schilling looks in, shoots, and it is the leg of Marincin that stops that. And back down the ice it goes. Comrie will play it. Juris had a mind there to fool Comrie on the play as he kind of faked as he was breaking off. He did not. Back through the middle, spreading out 4 wide and then diving into the near side corner. Back up the wall it comes. Schilling at the point. Goes cross ice. Gets it back. High in the line and then over to Spacek. He drives into the face-off dot. Doesn't have options. Comes back to Schilling. He gets it back one more time. Spacek looks in. Trying to call for that tip out front. And there it is. The shot on Hutchinson off the tip by Marco Dano. Spacek again. Gets it back. Schilling high on the line. Back over, finding Griffith. And Schilling looks in. Here's the windup. The big shot. The stick save up high. Drops behind Shaw. And now Juris convinces it to get up the wall, but not out. Spacek to the far side. They battle toward the goal. Chance out front for Dano. They take the shot, and it goes high into the glass. Dano had put his stick on, just waiting for that puck to get to him. And you can't do a lot of waiting, or else the puck finds its way down the ice.
The Manitoba Moose, tremendous pressure and lots of opportunities. They control the puck in the offensive zone on that power play. But Michael Hutchinson turns aside a couple of opportunities as we get down to 20 seconds to play on this second power play chance for the Moose.
It floats down into the corner as Rosen with some authority up to Timashov. He gathers it in. Oligny following it up, but here comes Engvall. Timashov, Engvall shoots. What a save by Comrie as he tracked it down off Engvall. Back comes Harkins. Penalty is expired. Moore is... No, there's the whistle. In fact, 1 second left in the penalty for Trevor Moore.
Unbelievable that the Marlies have had a couple of dandy opportunities, but it starts with a save by Hutchison with the right pad off the stick of the Moose, and then a 2-on-1 break the other way, and Timashov hits Engvall with a terrific pass. And I love what Comrie does on this play as he reads it well. He gets a real good push with that right foot and comes across, and the butterfly save to keep Engvall from making it a 2-0 hockey game shorthanded.
Jose, as Liljegren comes back to it, the penalty has now expired with 5:26 left to go in the first period. They're going to bring this back to center ice. So we're going to go for a short break here and bring you back to Coca-Cola Coliseum. The Marlies leading 1-0.
Well, Pascal Vincent, the head coach, spoke with him here before the game today, and really likes, since Christmas they've had a .674 win percentage, have the Manitoba Moose. But it all starts on home ice. 12-1, 0-1 in their last 14 home games as they've caught fire and is trying to track down some of the teams above them in that Midwest division. And it's something where you kick off this road trip here in Toronto, and then a couple games in Laval, back to Toronto, then to Belleville for a couple of games. So the old Canadian swing for the Manitoba Moose, as they're going to have 6 straight road games.
Well, it's the meat of the season. If you can come away with some victories here, you might end up with something decent to chew on. Here's Stanley as he plays it along to the far side. Lepon, as Bracco gets it back to the blue line. Lifted, that one hit Lepon right in the face as Sandin lifted it in, unintentionally finding J.C. Lepon.
Yeah, Lepon, I think, didn't really see it coming, and he tried to react at the last second, but he caught it, and it looks like it might have been right in the mouth area, because I didn't hear it hit the shield. And to the top right of your screen, Sandin goes to flip the puck in, and Lepon turns at the last second, but I think he catches it, and looks like he's going to be okay, shaken up a little bit, but don't see any blood on the ice, which is a good thing.
Well, he was missing a chiclet there already, or not. He gets up. He's good. He's going to go to the bench. And why, Bob?
Well, because he's a hockey player, you gotta love it. And Lepon is 6th year here in this Manitoba Moose and Winnipeg Jets organization. Spent a couple years in St. John's, his 4th year here with Manitoba Moose. And always a good, solid contributor to this hockey club. And I'm sure he'll be back as he shakes that one off on the bench.
4:58 left to go in the first period here at Coca-Cola Coliseum. Marlies with the offensive zone draw, trying to get a hold of that one with Brady Ferguson. As it is sent back in, and Sandin comes back for it. Out of the mess and back out into open ice. Right back in. Boy, right back in and over the wall into left field. That one. 440. That had some distance to it.
Yeah, Charles David Baudouin trying to get the dump in going, and it takes right off and up and over the glass. So again, sort of back-to-back whistles here in a short period of times. As I thought the pace of this first period was terrific, but it slowed down quite a bit after that puck in the mouth to Lepon, and a couple of significant whistles right again.
Alexi plays it to Morency. He tried to tip it back out to Tanner McMaster, and now Alexi comes in for a little bit of assistance. Gagne tried to get it right back through a couple of players, and a long pass. Ferguson, there goes Gagne after it, and Comrie feels he's got to play that. Here's Justin Woods. Also describes my golf game. Alexi at his own blue line. Hangs on. Boy, he's just waiting it right out here. The Marlies put all the bodies on that they want to. Marincin to the backhand of Engvall on a pretty looking pass. Engvall again. Carcone. Timashov beating it back over, and Loverde just got that one on the inside of his right leg. Tipped out front, scores! I think the last person that touches this is Vincent Loverde for the Marlies.
Vincent Loverde trying to throw a pass through the seam of the defenders of the Manitoba Moose, but this is going to go off a skate and get by Eric Comrie. And a play where Loverde takes a look up. He's trying to go cross ice, and it's just going to hit the defenseman down in front of the goaltender Comrie, and it bounces up and over the blocking glove of the young netminder for the Moose. And the Toronto Marlies have now staked themselves to a 2-0 advantage here with 3:35 to play here in period number 1.
Sometimes they go in that way too. Here's Engvall, then you take them to the far side. Harkins. I always say take it to the net, but you can apparently not do that and have some success too. Vincent Loverde does that as Engvall recaptures it cross ice, and that one into the bench of the Moose. I thought that might have been J.C. Lepon who was sitting there that got the puck in the breadbasket, but he did not.
Well, Vinny Loverde, who gets his second goal of the season, and a big one at that to extend the lead to 2 here. But you know, he didn't have many goals at the beginning of the year last year, but then he had a full flurry at the end, and he ended up with 9. But such an anchor on the blue line for this hockey club in the Toronto Marlies Calder Cup championship last year, his second Calder Cup championship. And those veterans that the Marlies have here are real terrific leaders for this hockey club. And Loverde with a lucky goal, but hey, they just ask how many, not how.
You betcha. Liljegren across the line. Here's Moore driving down deep, trying to step back out front. Trevor Moore turns around, puts one off. The players out front, but that one won't find a way to get by Comrie. Here's Adam Brooks. Up high, finding Liljegren. Cross ice, Sandin looks, shoots, and he was hoping maybe Adam Brooks could get to that. He did not. And out into center it comes with Liljegren finds Moore, drops by 1 and 2, and cannot get it by the glove of Eric Comrie with 2:16 left to go here in the first period.
Well, Trevor Moore, 2 goals, 5 points in his last 3 games. Gets another opportunity after that breakaway in period number 1 that he didn't get the opportunity on. He shows his quickness there as he jumps through the hole, and he gets that opportunity trying to go up and over the glove of Eric Comrie. He gets turned aside, but Trevor Moore, 3 goals, 4 points in the 2 games earlier this season in Winnipeg against the Manitoba Moose. So looking like he definitely loves to play against this hockey club after that 2-game performance in Winnipeg, and now here in this first period, he's been terrific.
Trying to bring it in and not get offside for the Moose. Molino, here's Griffith, back up, Schilling, long shot, bounces up, knocked down, but a great chance for Shaw, and he never did get quite a clean shot away.
It went off the glove of Marenchin there as he's shaking his hand on that first attempt at the Toronto goal with that shot by the Moose.
Here's Schilling as he sends it into the far corner. Rosen at the line, not out. Little kick, but Brady Ferguson couldn't quite get to it. Harkins with the shot, and it is off of Hutchinson and right back the other way. OJ sends it back into center, and then Rosen does find a way to get it into some open ice where Tanner McMaster convinces it down to Gagne. Centering pass misses Brady Ferguson, but he comes back to the boards for it. McMaster picks it up from there and tries to send it down deep. He hit Ferguson in the shoulder. It is pushed back out where Loverde comes back to it. Vincent Loverde drops it back. Rosen gets it right back to Loverde. He's got to get to that one quick, and Engvall will chase it down into the corner. Engvall, a change in behind him, and Engvall drops it back, finding Timashov. Looking for that centering pass. Timashov left it behind. Cross ice. Sandin shoots and stopped by Comrie with 41.2 seconds left to go in the first period.
Now Rasmus Sandin with a couple of shots here in period number 1, and he is doing a great job of getting back into the lineup after being injured at the World Juniors. Missed 20 games, and now back in the lineup. This 7th game back in here with the Toronto Marlies, and I just love what I've seen as he continues to grow with some confidence in his game.
Hunter Fegis just left the period early as he was not under any lower body duress, but he scrambled back up the tunnel to the visiting locker room. 33 seconds left to go in this first period.
Well, Pascal Vincent talking about the numbers of injuries with the Winnipeg Jets, so then you lose players, but their own injuries on top of things, and they have had a bit of a ECHL-looking team for significant parts of the season this year.
Engvall, he just thought he'd send one to wandering. Pops up, Liljegren behind him, and it is picked up by the Moose as they try to get a chance here late in the period. Led ahead, but too much lead. And Liljegren was trying to find Carcone, but he put it off the back of the goal. Now Sandin with less than 10 seconds to go. Moves it back along the near side. Carcone getting to it. And you can always tell when it's a school day game, they count down everything. And they count down the end of that period when it gets to 10 seconds. Well, the Toronto Marlies come up with a couple of goals in this first period. One on the power play. We'll be back with the intermission, so stick around for that. We've got more on Leafs Nation Network. Quickly before we start the second period, there you see Sheldon Keefe, who raised the Calder Cup this past spring, June 14th to be exact, and he lost out on Coach of the Year to Pascal Vincent, who had his club humming along right up until the turn of January, and then things started to go south for the Manitoba Moose, but he won Coach of the Year that year. I think if you had your choice, you'd take the Calder Cup. As it is on the ground here in the second period. Colin Green sharply across to Molino as he backhands it in. Eric Comrie, a little touch there as Molino came in, and he's caught a sharp edge and had to spin out of it. And Rosen comes back to it. Looking up ice, Loverde, who scored his first goal here at home this season in the first period. Another one came on the road. Back up ice. Stanley playing it along, and Rasmus Sandin. Rosen, he had Seth Griffith right there, and we've seen Griffith pick pockets from that spot before. Here's Sandin back through the middle and across the line. Rasmus Sandin breaks off and looks cross ice. He's got Liljegren going down deep. Moore on the far boards. Trevor Moore trying to cut back in. He puts it off the goaltender, and Comrie has to convince that one over into the corner. Adam Brooks Steps around, he got more to the goal, but he comes back to the line, and Liljegren hangs on, shoots. Liljegren, rebound, backhand. Bracco couldn't get it up high enough.
I tell you, Eric Comrie with second effort there to keep the puck out of the back of his net as he lost his stick and was down and out, and he fights to make the stave off the backhand of Bracco, looking to make it a 3-0 game for Toronto, just a minute and a half in to the second period here.
Liljegren on a bit of a wander here with Hunter Fegis going with him. And he sends it up ice. That one gets by everybody. Moore tried to leg it out, but it's picked up for icing, and they'll bring this one all the way back.
Well, the Toronto Marlies knocking on the door to make it a 3-0 game. Brooks gets it up to the point to Liljegren, and he fires it through traffic. The first save by Comrie, and Bracco's going to pick up the rebound, and Comrie gets knocked down by his own defenseman, and you see him stretch and battle for that attempt to block the puck from the stick of Bracco, and he does a terrific job to keep his club from going down by 3 goals.
Change right after as it is sent in. Marlies avoid that trap on the icing. A tip out front doesn't happen, but boy, that was close as Reichel thought for sure all he needed to do was connect.
Oh boy, Felix Gerard on the doorstep. All he had to do was get a stick on it, and it would have been a 2-1 hockey game, and he missed the puck.
Stepping to it, Carcone with Timashov down the left side. Carcone following up the play was Engvall. Carcone separates himself from the pack, moves it back over. Engvall likes to shoot, does, and he hits the side of the goal. And now Engvall right back out to Timashov. Up high, finding Marincin, winds up, big, hard blast, and it goes out the defender out front. Timashov able to keep it in. Nice little pass to Carcone, and he pushes it in behind the goal where Engvall and up to the far boards. Knocked down at the line. That one is offside, so it gets sent down the ice anyway. Carcone to Engvall again, dropping it back. Timashov, and a little Wild West here for the Marlies. As Harkin comes across, sees it's Daou that came early behind the play. It looked like he was, but that's not how they saw it.
Yeah, Harkin's upset, no question. And Jansen Harkins, I had a little chat with him before the game. I played with his dad, Todd, my last year pro back in '93-'94 with the Hartford Whalers. And his dad's back out in Vancouver now after spending a long time with Prince George Cougars of the Western Hockey League. He was the general manager there, and that's where Jansen played, drafted by the Winnipeg Jets, second-round pick in 2015, 47th overall, and he's been hot of late as he's starting to catch some wind under his sails here in the American Hockey League.
Gagne
4 goals in his last 8 games.
Right into Daou, and now Rosen. They back it all the way up. Good comfort level between Rosen and Loverde. A lot of games and a lot of miles under the skates this season.
Yeah, that is a dynamic duo for sure on the blue line. You can play against anybody in this league with that too.
Up ice they come. Dumped in. Loverde will go after. Harkins lost an edge, went down on the play as Rosen recaptures it. Cross ice. He doesn't see much. He carries it himself, and he sends it clattering off the glass. Stanley had Ferguson there and decided to come back up to Seth Griffith. Back through the middle. Griffith sends it right back in. Hutchinson slows it down. Liljegren tries to play it up the board. A kick back and forth as Molino tries it off the boards. It finds Colin Greening. And now Greening just sends it in and will chase it himself with Nogier right there with him. Josh Juris back up to the line, Sandin. He'll ask Greening to get in behind the goal, see what he can do with it. Back out front, Greening out front, and the shot from Liljegren, but it is blocked. And now Greening tries to muscle it. Does it stay in? It does, in fact, and it's a shot on goal as well. Back up Griffith. Moore reaches in to see if he can steal it away. He pokes it ahead, and across the line it comes, and Trevor Moore rewarded there, but it goes off of Harkins, where Moore gathers it in again. Little backhander off the wall. Stanley puts it to the line. It did come out, and touching up is Brooks. Spacek waits on it, and then comes to the right side where LePon, who took a puck earlier in the hockey game, and now he gives Marincin a little tap there to say hello, or something a little bit more direct than that, with 5:09 off the clock here in the second period.
Well, the Manitoba Moose trying to get some life back in their legs, and just that chip in, and J.C. LePon getting into it. But this line here, essentially the fourth line for the Toronto Marlies, with Colin Greening, Josh Juris, the two veterans. They get in on the forecheck, and they get the opportunity. As Liljegren gets that shot towards goal, and it's a big line, but they get in on the forecheck and they shut down the opposition's top players, and they were the line that drew the penalty in the first period of play to allow the Marlies to get on the board with their power play goal.
Project looking for a little bit of help. It's off the stick of Jeremy Bracco. They try to bring it back in. They send it in, but they still had to clear on the play. The touch-up. LePon on a bit of a mission here. You can tell he's got some juice in the boots. And now Moore back across the line. Here's Bracco. Waits trying to get it back to Adam Brooks. And Jeremy Bracco wanders back to the line. Liljegren tried to play it in, and now a breakaway. Right back in on Hutchinson. Waiting. Backhand scores. And Jeremy O'Ligney makes it 2-1 as the Moose get on the board on the giveaway at their blue line.
Well, Jimmy O'Ligney makes no mistake about it, and it's the Toronto Marlies. Timothy Liljegren trying to make a play at the offensive blue line. He gets stripped of the puck, and coast to coast goes O'Ligney after he gets his stick in the lane and steals it, and he's going to fake the shot, go to the backhand, up and over the glove of Hutchison, the Toronto goaltender, and just like that, the Manitoba Moose are back in this hockey game. It's now a 2-1 score in the first of the year for O'Ligney.
Sandin plays it back, and Liljegren ahead. Kind of handcuffed there as Bracco came toward him, and then he tried to play it in but hit the defender. Down the right side, Reichel drops it into the corner. We got a penalty coming up here. Timashov gives it a touch. Interference is going to be the call, and here's an opportunity for the Manitoba Moose to tie things up here in the second period. We'll be back with that.
Well, Pierre Engvall of the Toronto Marlies in the penalty box for interference for 2 minutes or less, and it happens through the neutral zone as trying to gain some speed and body position are the Moose through the neutral zone, and Engvall trips him up, so the interference call goes against Toronto, and the Manitoba Moose, who now trail just 2-1 here in the second period of play, and their third power play attempt, trying to see if they can equalize this game at 2 apiece.
Felix Gerard was the one who was trying to slide by Engvall with a little bit of speed. And Engvall got a hold of him. Here's Greening in the circle against Shaw. Lines up in the tree trunks. They try to clear it back out. Comes to Schilling over the far side. Dano out front waiting to see if one will come to him. Here's Griffith. He's got Dano on the backside. There's the shot, and Hutchinson got across with the pad. Back up at the line. Far side, and Shaw sends it off into the boards. Quickly, Griffith able to move it to the corner, but Greening pulls it off the wall, and Juris puts the stamp on it.
Well, the Moose moving the puck extremely well, and a great opportunity by Michael Spacek as he gets turned aside by Hutchison after Griffith makes a dandy pass through the seam of the Toronto penalty killers.
Playing it back up to the blue line, cross ice. Here's Shaw. Griffith just casually reels it in back to Shaw. He wants the shot. He puts it out front, hoping someone will get to it. It was Vincent Laverde. Minute gone and a little bit more on the extra man here for the Moose. Down the right side, Shaw. He cuts back toward the middle. Schilling coming in on the backside. It is Moore who investigates what he's doing, and now Moore tries to race to it. Griffith picks it up. Schilling finding Shaw again. Some movement out front, and That one goes off Marincin and it hits the side of the goal. Hutchinson plays it along with his blocker glove, gets it out front to Brooks, who sends it down the ice.
That's a good heads-up play by the goalkeeper as he spots he's got his man out in the high slot and just moves it along with his catching glove. He lets his stick go in a dangerous play, but a smart heads-up play by the goalkeeper.
Hutchinson plays that off, and down the ice it goes to center. Time ticking here. Engvall ready to rejoin the general population. And it comes back out. Engvall's back on, and Harkins with a shot, and it thumps off the pads. There's another one loose and picked up by Engvall, and he calmly moves this one back out of the zone. Engvall trying to find some speed with Greening. They've played together this year. Timashov looks in on it. Greening knocks it into the corner. He's got three Moose players standing there waiting to see what might happen. It is Timashov who comes away with it. Greening comes to the bench. There goes Timashov too. Played in. Engvall on his backhand. Looks up high. Finds Oleksy. Down and hits the end boards. From behind, Molino out front. Engvall shoots. And a good save by Comrie. Picked up by Molino. Big hard shot from Oleksy, and it's tipped wide as Carcone comes back to it. Carcone tried to drop it at the line to Oleksy, but a moment of indecision turns it over, and it is into the glove quickly as Daou takes the shot on Hutchinson.
Well, after the Toronto Marlies kill off that power play opportunity for the Manitoba Moose, they get some time in the offensive zone, and you work the puck down low, and it's Molino who spots Engvall out in the right between the hash marks on that left side from Comrie, and Eric Comrie with a terrific right pad save to keep the Marlies from gaining that 2-goal advantage back.
Brady Ferguson in for it. Nobody likes that. Well, they might have liked it, but the officials didn't. 9:20 gone here in the second period. Everybody gets some direction, and a second is put back on the clock. And here we go again. This time it works, but it comes right to Gabriel Gagne. Comes back through the middle. McMaster down the board. Up high, Marincin with a launch, and that one hits Comrie with a solid thump. Hang on to that one.
Well, Eric Comrie here in his 4th year as a professional, all with the Manitoba Moose. He has played 4 NHL games, 3 last year with the Winnipeg Jets, but coming into this one, 19, 13, and 4 on the season, and certainly a big reason why the success that the Moose have had since Christmas time. Their goaltending has been terrific, without a doubt.
Marlies played them prior to Christmas. Came out with a couple of wins, and were they in disarray? Long shot, tipped up front, scores! Brady Ferguson was out front, but the shot came from Gagne.
Well, 5-on-5, the Marlies win a face-off in the offensive zone, and it ends up in the back of the net of the Moose. And Sheldon Keefe talked about needing different players to step up. Good speed by McMaster down low as he does a little shimmy shake in the corner. He spots Gagne, who'd gone up to cover the point, and he lets the shot go, and it eludes the goalkeeper Comrie. And I don't know if it was touched by Ferguson out front, but so. I think Gagne is looking at his 2nd goal as a Marlie and 6th of the campaign, and the Toronto Marlies have regained that 2-goal advantage, a 3-1 score.
Well, that is one player they would like to see get going, is Gabriel Gagne. This may be where he goes. And it is into the corner as Valverde sends it along. Molino finds Rosen with a little bit of room to run, and Rosen puts it toward the goal. And just reaching out and grabbing it up was Comrie. Halfway into this hockey game, and 2 seconds more. Gagne with the latest. It is 3-1 Marlies.
Well, Gabriel Gagne has scored for Toronto to give them a 3-1 lead, and he moves up to the point position and he unloads a shot with some traffic in front of Comrie, and it eludes the Manitoba goaltender. And Gabriel Gagne's second goal is a Marley, 4 points in 14 games in a Toronto uniform. And it's something where, you know, a former second-round pick of the Ottawa Senators scored 20 goals last year for the Belleville Senators, but not having a campaign that he would like, but, you know, starting to get some traction now. A couple of goals in the last 4 games here for the Marlies, and maybe what the doctor ordered, but showing that ability to shoot the puck. That's one thing that he does very well, and hopefully it's going to give him the confidence to really get his game back on track where he'd like.
Well, every time you talk to new players who come into this organization from somewhere else, mid-season, mid-trade, mid-season trade, you always find that they say it's just a little bit different here. The expectation a little quicker, a little crisper, and the system just a little bit different. Sandin, Bracco picks it up. He tried to get it into Brooks, who did the work to capture it. And now Brooks out of the corner, round behind the goal. Adam Brooks puts it out front. Bracco was there, but this draws a penalty as Trevor Moore right back to it. Sandin reels it in, back to Moore, winds up, hard shot, and Moore just misses. We're going to see a penalty here for hooking, it looks like, with 9:35 left to go in the second period. Some explanation to Seth Griffith about it, but this is his second trip to the penalty box.
Yeah, he's not pleased about it, but I think this is a good call, and it's all about the second effort by number 14, Adam Brooks. And you see on the backside being hooked and chased down, but it started on the half wall on the opposite corner as Brooks made a good move to get by Griffith, and then Griffith chased him all the way around, and he got the stick on him to prevent Brooks from having that wraparound play, and as a result, Toronto back on the power play.
At the line, they cannot keep it in, and Trevor Moore sends it back. Kelly Rosen, Jeremy Bracco out as well, Brooks and Carconi. Here's Bracco through the middle. Tried to dish it off, but a little too casual with it. And now Lippon races back the other way. Moore knocks his man down. Long shot into the glove of Hutchinson, and he hangs on. And now Gerard gets in on Hutchinson, and now some negotiations take place.
Well, the Manitoba Moose needing a little spark themselves to get some emotion with their hockey club. And they're going to the net hard. And
Gerard may find himself.
Yeah, you better be careful. You don't want to put your team down to a 5-on-3 opportunity for the Toronto Marlies in this situation. And we'll see what transpires. But coming down the wall, and just an innocent-looking wrist shot. And Gerard, who has body position on Trevor Moore, goes to the net on Hutchinson, and then Moore gives him the little shove. And then Ligny comes in as well to give his 2 cents in as well, and I think cooler heads prevail.
2-2 they'll take.
And
Adam Brooks is still wondering why he goes off.
Guys will go to the penalty box, and
you got to ask
Gerard
why too.
And Brooks, and the faceoff will come outside into the neutral zone after the defense came in after the whistle. And we're going to continue with the Toronto power play with the 1:38 left on that power play opportunity. There's Trevor Moore.
This is a tough one. This is a tough one because Brooks is essentially in a group that is standing there, and Gerard comes in. He's trying to stir things up a little bit. He gets close in on Hutchinson, and then he decides he's going to go after Adam Brooks. What's he supposed to do? Just stand there and take it? I suppose he was, because he ended up in the box because they take them both. Answer my own question there, Bob. Let's see if I can include you next time.
It's all good, Croc.
Now behind the goal, here's Liljegren. Drop back. Timoshoff out now as McMaster on his left, and he finds him. Now McMaster, Timoshoff. Played up and out. Gets by everybody. Hutchinson comes way out to play this one. Liljegren in behind his own goal. Less than a minute to play on the extra man here for the Marlies as Liljegren drops it back, and Ferguson Moves it along to Timoshoff across the line. McMaster chases it, trying to push it back up to Liljegren, but not much conviction to that one. Back down the ice it comes. And now Hutchinson has to find Liljegren. He comes back out and up, and that gets by everybody. And in fact, this will go for icing as the Marlies power play having a little bit of a tough time connecting here.
Well, they scored on their first opportunity here in period number 1, and now their third power play. The second one they had some opportunities, but here in this second period of play with a chance to extend their lead by, instead of 2, and make it a 3-goal difference. Look unorganized, no question about it, as they've got 31 seconds left here on this third power play opportunity.
On if you're Felix Gerard, you're pretty okay with this because you took Adam Brooks to the box, and he's a staple on the power play for the Marlies. Brooks in the box, Timoshoff along to Moore, and Bracco following it up. Here's Jeremy Bracco, cross ice. Sandin draws in and then breaks off to the wall. Round behind the goal. It'll come to Jeremy Bracco. Into the corner, Trevor Moore runs into trouble. Bracco trying to peel it back out of there, and he does. Kirkoni turns around, top of the circle, shoots, and it skips just wide as Griffith comes back out, and the Marlies and the Moose are back to even strength. Takes a funny hop off the windows, and it is back out. Now here comes Griffith with some intent. Steps by Sandin and then leaves the puck behind, and now Griffith and Alexi meet up on a couple of bumps. Moore back across the blue line, drops it back. Kirkoni waits, puts it down toward the goal. Round behind, it does not find Moore. As the Marlies make changes, 13 minutes in here to the second period. Tracking it back, Marincin. Off the boards, but beyond Juris, who he intended to find. And now the Moose doing a whole lot of passing. Not a lot of pressure here by the Marlies, but they're organizing up in their own end and continue to do so. Here comes the pass. Knocked off the stick, and right back come the Marlies as Molino dives across the line and rips one on goal. Right back the other way it goes. Comrie makes the decent save. Playing it back in. It's cut off by Marincin. And he finds Juris coming back through the middle. Still after it, Juris. He and Greening. Juris still has it. And he sends it in along the wall. Marincin there to pick it up. Eases it into the corner. Greening does some heavy lifting as he tried to send it back out front. That finds Ferguson, and then it closes in on him. Back up at the line. Kept in by Marincin, though barely. And it is taken away by Ferguson, escaping into the corner. Gagne back out front, and hoping to find Tanner McMaster or Brady Ferguson. It found neither. And Sandin will pick it up. Trying to cut back the other way. Sandin keeping his man wide, feeds us the shot, and Hutchinson just drops it. As Gagne comes to the wall. A couple of Marlies in there digging for it, along with Cam McLeish. Now the Moose, 5:20 left to go in the second period. Marlies up 3-1. To the far side it goes. Cross ice, feeds it. It wandered on him, and at the blue line, it's kept in. Long shot, didn't make it through Ferguson. And it pops up. Marlies trapped in their zone here. And trying to get back out as Liljegren puts it up ice. That'll get by everybody, but better the icing than the scrambling in your own zone. With 4:54 left to go in the second. Brooks and Gerard released.
Well, Griffin Molino gets an opportunity with a good defensive play in the neutral zone by Colin Greening, and then right back the other way, and Molino with that good wrist shot forces Comrie to come up with another save, and Molino is 21 games here in the American Hockey League, and you know, with Utica started the season there as well, and played for the Newfoundland Growlers. 3 goals, 6 points there in 10 games, and trying to find some traction here with the Marlies again now.
Tanner McMaster is all up in that business. Shot. Gets a hold of it, and Sandin plays it along Lilligren. Drops it back. Here's Sandin looking for an entry point. Across the line, he takes it. Sandin still with it. Cross ice, hoping to find Timashov for Carcone. Now back up it comes. Sandin will play this one. He gets the heads up from the bench to stick around just a little bit longer. Enjoy yourself. Timashov back to it after he bumped off the puck. Moves it along to Carcone off the wall. Michael Carcone into the corner. Timashov picks it up there. Oleksiy high on the line. He took the shot, hoping he could get it past Harkins. It did not. Timashov still with it. On his backhand. Turns around and puts it back into the corner. Engvall from behind the goal. Steps out. Engvall shoots. And Pierre Engvall with that long stick. Able to get away. A decent shot. Backhanded. Chance loose in the blue paint. Scores! And Comrie frustrated with the official. He was knocked down. There was a scramble in the crease. He got no whistle whatsoever. And Pierre Engvall makes it 4-1.
Well, this is second and third effort by Engvall, but the Marlies with all kinds of pressure, and Comrie upset big time as the Marlies have now gotten the 3-goal advantage. But the first shot by Engvall, the Carcone comes up with the loose puck, and Engvall, he gets the opportunity, goes in the backhand, a big save by Comrie, and then the two defenders jump looking for that loose puck, and they push Engvall right in on top of their goaltender Comrie, and the puck is sitting free, and Engvall with that long stick, as you said, Todd, he shovels it underneath the goaltender, and the Toronto Marlies have now got a 3-goal advantage, a 4-1 hockey game with 3:20 to play here in period number 2.
Your immediate reaction when the goaltender is a little frustrated, you want to take a look at it again just to see if he has a case. I don't think he had one there. Rosen. He was sprawled out, but the puck was still loose.
Again, the American Hockey League, they can't look to see if there's goaltender interference. There's no qualification for them to be able to look at that with the camera.
Out of the corner, Bronco back up, Rosen. Out front, and a little connection there from Moore. Might have had a better case there. As it comes back to Oleksiy. From behind the goal, Adam Brooks tries to step out as it comes up high. Rosen flops over to Oleksiy, and into the corner goes Bronco after. Tips it along to Brooks. Brooks is hanging on. He has a lot of time to work with as it is Oligny who lifts it back up, and that'll stay inside the ballpark as Marincin turns around on it, and the Marlies make some changes. Here's Colin Greening at the line. Cross ice. Molino dashes into the corner after. Oligny right there with it. Daou pressing to the boards. 2 minutes left to go here in the second period. Marlies up 4-1. Marincin out front. Tip tie to the line. Loverde had to get back to it. Takes it all the way home. And with a little extra help from Molino. Opens the door. Here's back Marincin. Long pass ahead. Molino will chase it down. Stanley doing some good job on Molino. He does get it back up. Loverde toward the goal. Why not? He's got one already that way. As Marincin winds up. Out of blast. And it hits the back of the calf of Daou. And he's feeling it. Marincin dumps it back in. Minute 20 and less now to go in the second period. 4-1 the score. McMaster at his own blue line. And now Ferguson plays it in. Down into the corner. Gagne shoves his man to the boards, but Lapon nearly had it. Comes back up. McMaster, Lilligren finds an edge. Sandin turns around and then has to dance along the blue line. He plays it as Moore. Now a chance back the other way. Dano stumbles and falls. A great opportunity, but he could not keep his feet under him.
Wow, when things aren't going your way, holy smokes. And you're right about that, as Dano gets the golden opportunity to walk in all by himself, and he trips over the blue line and comes up empty-handed.
Long shot. Boy, that one had eyes, but it was just a little too vibrant. Here's Noje with the shot, and Hutchinson comes up with the save with 19.2 seconds left to go in the second period. This has been a decent second period for the Toronto Marlies as they continue to build off that first period.
Well, they gave up a goal to make it a 2-1 game here early in period number 2, but then goals by Gagne and Engvall have extended the lead here now 4-1 with 19.2 seconds to go.
They wanted some production 5-on-5. They're getting it. Back up the line, not out. And a little tip there. And back up it comes. Shot blocked, and that's off the hand of Alexi. He shakes the paw. And you hear it. Long shot. Nothing on it. And now a little bit more of a discussion at the end of this second period. 40 minutes in the books. And they'll break it off with Lepon in the middle of it, trying to drive a little energy into this one. And he bumps up with Carcone. We've already seen he doesn't mind getting into a little bit of action, extracurricular style. Your thoughts, Bob, on 40 minutes?
Well, the Toronto Marlies with a 2-game win streak coming into this game here against the Moose, and looking towards the weekend for back-to-back games against the Syracuse Crunch, and so they want to keep the momentum going, and they've done just that over the first 40 minutes of play here as they've gotten their 3 goals of their 4 5-on-5 here today, and that's exactly what Sheldon Keefe was hoping for with his hockey club.
Well, Jimmy Oligny did score for the Manitoba Moose at 5:50, but Gabriel Gagne and Pierre Engvall answered back. The Marlies are up 4-1 after 40 minutes. We'll be back in the intermission. Well, the Manitoba Moose looked like they were going to make some noise to start out the second period.
You're right. Some sloppy play by the defense as he gets stripped by Jimmy Oligny, and he's off to the races by himself. He gets his first of the campaign, and he cuts the lead to 2-1 for Toronto early in that second period. But Gabriel Gagne's long bomb shot eludes Eric Comrie, and it restores the 2-goal advantage. It was 3-1 Toronto, but late in the period, some second effort by Toronto, and it's Pierre Engvall and Michael Carcone both banging away, and I believe Carcone gets credited with that, and it's a 4-1 advantage for Toronto after 40 minutes of play, as Eric Comrie, the Manitoba goaltender, not too pleased.
That was a pick-em. Engvall, Carcone, nobody seemed to be able to make up their mind. Currently, it is Carcone with the official goal at 16-13, his 14th of the year. We'll be back with more in just a moment on Leafs Nation Network. Now, you gotta ask, if you're going to ask anybody about school, you ask Colin Green. He didn't just go to Croc State or anything like that. He went to Cornell.
Yes, he is a very intelligent man. There's no question about it. And I love the fact that when you want to have a conversation and get in depth about something, Colin Greening is one of those guys that can make you pay attention.
Absolutely. Always about once a year we find it happenstance to have breakfast on the road somewhere, and I'm completely enthralled by the information that Colin Greening has. That's a guy who goes to school. Make sure you make that a priority. Though at this moment, if you're not at school and you're watching this game, you know, well, that's a bad sign. I hope you're home on a day off.
Well, in the penalty box, J.C. Lepon got a unsportsmanlike conduct penalty at the end of period number 2, and he went after Carcone after the whistle went, and then he kept it up, and obviously the official took exception to it, and as a result, the undisciplined play by Lepon has put his club down as the Marlies will start this third period with a 3-goal lead and a power play opportunity.
Marlies are 19-0-1-1 when they lead after 40 minutes of play this season. Adam Brooks complains about the face-off to open the third period. They'll put 20 minutes back on the clock. That 1 second could be important somewhere else. And the Marlies on the power play. Adam Brooks wins it clean back. And Girard not exactly happy about that. Neither is Dano, but they're going to let him play on here as Girard chasing Carcone. And they're still looking around trying to figure out why that was good and the other one wasn't. Here's Rosen. Up through the middle. He's got some speed. Calle Rosen toward the goal. Round behind. Looks up high and wanted to get it back up to Bracco. And Bracco keeps it in. Here's Moore out front. He's got Brooks following it up. Moore at the side of the goal as he thought he had a sure one. Carcone gave it back to him.
Now a little give and go and give back, and it doesn't quite capitalize as Toronto may be trying to be a little too cute.
Rosen sharply. Bracco out front. Hits Brooks. Moore trying to clean it up. Loose puck still there, and it is lifted right out of play.
And that should be a penalty on that. So it's going to be a 5-on-3 because that's lifted up and over the glass, and a delay of game penalty is going to be called. But here you're going to see the Marlies puck movement as Moore dishes it across to Carcone, and he tries to give it back, and it doesn't quite capitalize, as then the puck will squirt free out in front of the goalkeeper, and shooting it up and over the glass is Felix Girard, I believe it was, on the play. Yes, it is, and he's going to go to the box. So a 5-on-3 opportunity for 1 minute and 4 seconds for the Toronto Marlies, and certainly not something that Pascal Vincent would like to see happen with his club already trailing by 3 here early in the third.
Moore in the corner, moves it back up. Rosen has a lot of space. Here's Carcone, back to Rosen. Little pitch and catch, up high. Down low it comes to Bracco. Back to Carcone. Rosen looks down low to Moore. Out front he's got Brooks, and he sends a screaming one through the crease. It comes back out the other way. Bracco rotates back up high. On the line, Bracco back. Rosen blast off the pads, and it is right back to Rosen again. Calle Rosen and Moore. Top of the face-off circle, back over Moore. It just caught him a little bit behind. And now Carcone again. They rotate up. We got 15 seconds left to go in the 5-on-3. There's Moore with a chance, and he fanned on it. Brooks back over. Carcone up to Bracco. Handles it, draws in. Bracco shoots, and that made contact, and back down the ice it goes, and we're back to 5-on-4.
Got hit the stick of Logan Shaw and deflects up and around and out of the zone. So some fresh penalty killers out, and one of the guys with the penalty, Lepon, back on the ice.
Lilligren. It's over for Timoshoff. He's got to get it behind the goal. He does. Centered back out front. Shot by McMaster, but it is blocked, and back out it goes. It does not get the penalty killers changed, however, and now Timoshoff comes in, wanders out wide with some authority over to Engvall. Pierre Engvall to Ferguson. Off the wall and back up to Lilligren. Finding Timoshoff. 13 seconds left to go in the power play, and it is sent back down the ice. So the Moose kill off a 5-on-3 and a 5-on-4 with 4 seconds left. The Marlies may get one last shot. They will not, and we're back to 5-on-5. The Marlies with the 4-1 lead. Sandin couldn't keep it in, and now racing back in after it. Dano cuts back in. Hutchinson stands his ground. And back up to the line it comes. Skips up and into the glass, and right back behind the goal. Ferguson back to it. May have been the best chance the Moose had in a long time in this hockey game. Here's Griffith. Waits, shoots. That one thumped off the pads.
Well, you need to make a good save at the right time. And Michael Hutchison does just that after the Toronto Marlies with a 5-on-3 to open the period. They don't capitalize, so Manitoba's still trailing by 3, and Marco Dano with some terrific speed. He outraces the Toronto defenders, and he gets the opportunity, and an excellent stick by Michael Hutchison on the poke check. and Dano gets turned aside as the Moose trying to get back in this one, trailing by 3, could have cut it to a 2-goal deficit, but Dano can't quite capitalize and get that puck past his former teammate.
He's got himself a little touch on that one, and a little confusion with the stick more than anything else. There's Juris off the draw, comes back, Oleksy. Marincin hands it back. Steve Oleksy along to Greeny. Hard in, and Juris pops it off the boards. Molino tried to bring it back inside, and they could not get the puck to follow with it. Knocked down Juris. Puck comes loose to Spacek. Some attention paid by Marincin. Back out it comes. Oleksy reels it in. Cross ice, he's got Molino, but he'll get it right back. They separate out some space as Marincin looks down ice. He decides to give it back to Oleksy through the middle. That one will get by everybody. And icing not a factor. Back down the right side and into the zone. Rosen chasing after it. And everybody meets up at the official. Back out of the corner and up high. Oligny, who's got the goal for the Moose. This time he squeezed off the puck as Rosen steps in front of his man, wins that battle, and hands it over to Vincent Loverde. Ahead for Gagne. Lifted down into the corner, and Oligny comes after it. Taking it away, McMaster, and he comes back to it as he sends it up high. Loverde with a rip, and that pops up off the boards. Comes back as Ferguson was trying to get to it. Rosen steps in the way, comes back to Gagne. A spill McMaster would like reviewed. They don't do that. Here's Gagne. Got across the line, couldn't get any further, and the Moose come right back after it. To the side of Hutchinson on the stick side. Sandin picks it up, turns around, and buys some time and space. And Moore, he was coming back through it, and Sandin gets in the way. Moore, thankful, Sandin bails him out. At the line, not out. When the extra effort, the hand pass on the whistle. And we take a look at the very tight North standings and the Toronto Marlies roll in it.
Well, no doubt about it, as the Toronto Marlies an opportunity with a victory here in this midday game to tie themselves with Syracuse and Utica for second place in the North Division. So looming this weekend, a Friday-Saturday matchup, Toronto at Syracuse, both games. Boy, oh boy, there's some huge implications in that one. But this North Division is going to be a dogfight for positioning from now right through till the end of the regular season.
More 4 games Syracuse has on Utica and Toronto. They were playing like a game a week for the first 3 months of the season.
Yeah, well, coming up when February ends and March begins, 16 games in 31 days for the Syracuse Crunch, so it's going to be a grind.
It'll be interesting to see how they deal with it. Harkins couldn't quite get anything off that as it comes to Adam Brooks. Here's Jeremy Bracco. He's got Moore with him. Try to feed it back into Moore. Schilling back to it. Moore gets a good stick on it. Bracco out front, and he had Engvall on the backside, but the big man couldn't get a good touch on it. Back through the middle it comes, and played in off Carcone, knocked him down. As Oleksy comes back up, he takes a shot from McLeish. As Griffin got a piece, back out into center it comes. Rasmus Sandin finding some space to run here. Long pass ahead. Timashov, and now Engvall as he tries to wind his way through two. Carcone backs it up and try to sneak it in on goal. Comrie is out of his goal, making sure that that one doesn't get back out front. At the line, kept in Oleksy. Timashov looking to get to it. Lifted back out into center. Little poke there at the line. Reichel with a blast. It doesn't get by the defender, Steve Oleksy. To the far side. The Moose trying to lay on some pressure. Down 4-1. There's the shot from distance. And Hutchinson comes up with the save. 12:36 left to go in the third period as the Toronto Marlies hold a convincing lead.
Well, Robert Reichel played 830 National Hockey League games, 3 years in a Maple Leaf uniform, and his son here playing today, Christian Reichel, playing for the Manitoba Moose, played last year with the Red Deer Rebels of the Western Hockey League, 34 goals, 57 points. He's having a bit of a tough go here in the American Hockey League, as a lot of young players do. There's 2 goals, 6 points in 41 games coming into today's action. But boy, he sure looks a lot like his father. And if he turns out to be anything like his dad, I'm sure the Winnipeg Jets organization will be very thankful of that.
Funny when you see visuals of old games and how used to the new crest you've become, at least for me. That when you see the old crest, it kind of looks a little foreign.
For sure.
Molino comes back to it, and Martin Marincin. He gets away from J.C. Lapon as he banks it off the windows and down the ice. Molino coming after it. Good weight from Marincin on that. 8 minutes off the clock in the 3rd period. The Moose looking to get one here to convince themselves they're in this hockey game. Play back in here as Schilling picks it up, and they get the final changes and pieces in the puzzle they think might work out. But that one, Moore tries to disrupt, and he does. And now Bracco comes back. Moore heading to the goal. Bracco waits. Moore the chance. And I don't know if Comrie got a piece of that. Moore just never got away with a clean shot. Well defended nonetheless. Here's Bracco cross ice. Rosen drives out wide along the board. Chipped away and right back out. And this is for the Marlies, where you want to keep the Manitoba Moose. Backing up. Moore drops it back to Bracco, and he was hoping to find Adam Brooks heading to the goal. Always a mind to where the player might be. Jeremy Bracco.
Yeah, he's got tremendous vision.
Here's shot, and that goes wide.
Big reason why he sits 3rd in the American Hockey League scoring race and tops the American Hockey League in assists, because he always is that pass first mentality.
Where are you going to be? Just put yourself in the spot. It seems like Jeremy Bracco might be able to find you. Sandin off the boards. That does not get by. He got the bad angle. And Spacek claims a high stick. He will not get a buyer. Cross ice, knocked down. Lapon trying to find his man. Reeling it in. And unable to do anything with it was Harkins. And it is Gagne who steps in the middle of it all to take it away. Cross ice from McMaster. Alexi winds his way up ice. Lifts it over across the line. McMaster almost looked like he made contact with it on a high stick. Nobody saw that. And it is lifted in towards Michael Hutchinson. McLeish was screaming in after it, and that made him hang on to it. We're halfway into this 3rd period, and 6 seconds more with the Marlies up 4-1.
Well, you just spent the last 4 games of that 6-game road trip with the Toronto Maple Leafs, Todd Crocker, and what was your experience like being up in the big show?
Yeah, it's no big deal.
No, I know you're lying.
Absolutely, completely special. The treatment not only from the Maple Leafs, but from the fans. Both the Marlies and the Maple Leafs fans was absolutely tremendous. Can't thank everybody involved in it enough. Jim Ralph as well, who does color for the radio broadcast, did a terrific job in bringing me along in that one. Paul Hendrick, of course, always terrific. And Nicole
awesome.
Burns, who produced the programs that I was on. Long shot that into the glove of Michael Hutchinson, but it was an amazing time and singular
Good
experience.
on you. Congratulations, my friend. It was fantastic.
I'll tell you, there's a lot to eat up there, I noticed.
Yeah, the Never Hungry League.
Everywhere you go, somebody's got some food on the go. Unbelievable. Here's Rosen back up. There down the ice it goes. Marley's trying to drive home a win here on home ice on a school day game. Shaw picks it up. I will say this: the travel is exhausting, and I give a lot of credit to those guys who cover the Maple Leafs and the travel changes and all the things that they have to go through to make sure that they get to the next destination. Just really, you got to be driven. That's for sure. There's Rosen sending it in behind the goal. Loverde back to it. Schilling back up as Carconi in the middle of it. Dano across the line. A little backhander and a sneaky one, but Hutchinson grabs it up and hangs on. Yeah,
but those those broadcasters in the National Hockey League, let's not forget, tomorrow you're getting on a bus to go back to Syracuse, New York. So it's all good.
I don't mind the bus.
Yeah,
I don't mind the bus. I like it.
Yeah. And Michael Hutchison again with another save, with 20 of 21 so far in this hockey game, playing against his former team. And in the zone, as he was really looking forward to this when I talked to him this morning.
Big pounder off the pads, but Hutchinson comes up with the save. And back to Alexei.
He also said, can't believe how much turnover.
Engvall dashing in, and a good shot by Engvall, and a better save by Comrie.
Pierre Engvall's really been in the zone of late, and maybe that switch to center is really
they're working out. A little bit of a ski stop there for Comrie to make the save, and Carconi gets it in. Here's Timashov back over Engvall. What a rip down by Comrie as he gets the glove out there and hangs on, keeping it 4-1.
Well, Pierre Engvall, 3 goals in his last 6 games coming into this one, including the game-winning goal on Monday afternoon at the Scotiabank Arena. He gets the opportunity a couple of times here in period number 3 as he gets turned aside on that nice burst of speed. And then after a terrific pass by Dmytro Timashov right in the wheelhouse, that wrister trying to go over the glove of Comrie, and he absolutely robs Pierre Engvall.
Brooks off the draw. Moore trying to get to it. Schilling holding him off. Gets it back up, and it wanders its way into the Toronto zone. Regis couldn't do anything with that, and it is Moore who comes back. Bracco looking for it as well. Less than 8 minutes to play, third period. Sticks up there. Brooks up for Trevor Moore. Moore holds off and gets it across the line, finding Bracco, looking to center it back out, and Moore with a great chance, but Comrie comes up with another decent save. Bracco looking for the centering pass as Brooks sends it to the line. And it comes back to Loverde, and he and Liljegren combine.
Eric Comrie with a terrific save and shows his reflexes spectacular.
That one ahead as Gagne goes into the corner after it. Logan Stanley moving it as the Moose are trying to engineer something here, but they also can look up the scoreboard and see there's not much time left, and there is a 3-goal deficit. Right back into some open ice along the near side boards. Justin Woods up to the line. Dano cross ice. There's the shot that goes wide. Looking for a little connection point. Gagne trying to whack it back out across the line. Liljegren takes his man Woods to the boards, and looking for that centering pass. Back out of the corner. Seth Griffith winds his way back up top. Feeds it in. Shot off of Hutchinson, and Griffith recovers. And it is McMaster who got to it, and we're going to see a penalty here. Griffith hangs on, and that's what Seth Griffith can do. He feeds it back over to LaPon, sends it off into the corner. LaPon again, back to Woods. Over to Griffith, looks in, shoots. Easily handled by Hutchinson, and by easily I mean from here it looked easy. 5:58 left to go when we return the Moose on the power play.
Well, Toronto forward Tanner McMaster in the penalty box for 2 minutes or less on a holding call, and he draws it. Does Seth Griffith as he holds on to the puck, and the free hand of McMaster grabs that left arm of Griffith, and as a result, the Moose will go back to the power play. And now with just under 6 minutes to play and trailing by 3 goals, they really could use a power play tally if they want to get back in this game at all and give themselves any kind of chance.
A swim move there by McMaster. Penalty. Schilling back over to Griffith at the line. It got by Schilling as he wasn't expecting that one to come back to him so quickly as they back it right up. 4th opportunity here for the Moose on the power play. Dano cross ice. Boy, they're having a little bit of a difficult time, and now they get it across, and Marincin picks it up. Schilling keeps it in. Back over Spacek to the line. Schilling handles it. Griffith draws in, looks out front, doesn't have much, but he's going to feed it back up to the blue line. Spacek, you want that one-timer? Sends one in toward the goal, and it bounces off and into the glass. Griffith, this time Shaw picks it up. He gives it back to the blue line. Schilling. Spacek wants that shot. Comes back to Schilling because he didn't have it. And Griffith works down to the boards. He tried to feed it over to Dano, who is covered by Loverde, and in the way Marincin as well. Greening, Juris. Marincin comes out, and Griffith mishandled the puck. He got, almost looked like he got a little held up there. He tried to, spooked a little bit by Martin Marincin's move. 30 seconds left to go in the power play here for the Moose. This time they get it across the line, but only for a short while. Oligny brings it across again as Sandin comes after it. 20 seconds left to go. Sandin sends it ahead, and now Timashov will race after it. Into the corner. Timashov plays it back. Engvall there. Hangs on. Pierre Engvall out of the corner. 5 seconds. Here's Engvall. He's got Timashov out front. Big blast and a broken stick by Rosen. With 4 minutes left, we're back to 5-on-5 as the Marlies kill off the penalty. 4 for 4 on the PK. Rides the rail. And into the corner it goes. There's Logan Stanley after toward the goal, but the post guarded well by Hutchinson. Here comes another one, and Hutchinson hangs on to that one with 3:35 left to go in the 3rd period. And the Marlies killing off 4 penalties in this one.
Yeah, you're right. And you look at 10 guys with at least 10 goals. The Toronto Marlies with 7 different players with 10 or more goals. And that's something here for the Moose that has really handcuffed the hockey club. Just 3 players who are in double digits in goals. Obviously the top dog in Logan Shaw with 22. But it's something where they haven't been able to score goals consistently, and you've got so many different players in and out of their lineup with different injuries and call-ups. But the thing that's really been a tough thing to do is have guys score goals on a consistent basis.
Well, how did we get to this point? Up 4-1 for the Toronto Marlies.
Well, the Marlies opened the scoring. Carcone on a power play, and then Vincent Lavardi with an easy one to make it 2-0. Oligny would make it a 2-1 game, but the Marlies would come back as Gagne's 6th makes it a 3-1 game, and then Michael Carcone's 2nd of the game made it a 4-1 contest after 40 minutes of play, and that's where we stand with 3:35 to go in this hockey game.
Well, I'm glad I asked. We got all the answers, Bob. As we look down at the net empty for the Manitoba Moose with 3:35 remaining. They've added the extra attacker. They've got some marching orders from the bench, and it is Josh Juris who is in to take the draw against Spacek. And everybody's getting some instructions here. It drops, and Loverde sends it down the ice. And that went wide, but why not?
You can afford to ice it on numerous occasions when you have a 3-goal advantage here with the empty net.
You bet.
So you never mind that a guy is going to try and do it when you have that 3-goal cushion.
Orders being talked about there between Laverde and Greening, a couple of guys who have seen their fair share. As it comes up to the line, Schilling, it's right back out as they lose the zone. Hammered right back in. Laverde right back to it. Puts it off the glass, and that one kissed off the glass and went out of play. And how timely.
Michael Hutchison has made 28 saves on 29 shots against his former club here today. Let's get a look at his body of work. And I thought the big thing with Michael Hutchison here today, square to the puck, big in the net, covering the low part. Yeah, I thought he had a real good glove in this one as well today. And anytime you play your former team, you always seem to rise to the occasion, and he certainly has in this one.
Shot, scores! It got through Hutchinson, and they cleaned it up.
I thought, and he did as well, thought that he made the save off of Marco Dano and had it squeezed for the whistle, but the puck trickled through him, and the Moose pounce on it and shoot it past him into the goal after it got by him, and they have cut the deficit to 2 goals now with that opportunity to make this a 4-2 game. And it's Spacek who's going to get credited with the goal, or no, Shaw, number 38, so his 23rd goal of the season, and the veteran for the Moose has brought them to within 2 goals. Still 3:09 to play. So Hutchison, I would believe, would like to have that opportunity back off the stick of Marco Dano.
Schilling pushes it ahead, and we'll continue to have a look at the goaltender, Eric Comrie. He won't get a chance here as Rosen comes across the line and launches one into the corner. Lifted right back out, and this will give Comrie a chance to come back out, or will it? It will not. That one will go for icing. And that will give him a chance to step out and over to the bench with 2:45 remaining. And the Manitoba Moose looking to engineer a comeback with 2:45 left to go in the game. Much the way the Marlies did in the 3rd period of their game on Monday at Scotiabank Arena.
Yeah, trailed 3-1. And coming back with a pair of goals by Brooks to tie it, and Pierre Engvall with the game-winning goal, and then you throw an empty netter in as well for the 5-3 victory.
Well, they cleared out themselves this time, and Schilling comes back to it, the extra attacker on, as you can see. As Bracco gets back to it, Rosen onto the stick to Brooks, and he sends it wide. This one going to be picked up. It is not for icing, as Brooks looked like he was just a step on the other side of the red line.
Normally they are on top of that, because that certainly could have been an icing call against, and the Manitoba Moose bench up in arms because it not being called.
Back up to the line. Schilling hangs on. He's got a lot of traffic, and at the side of the goal it comes. Back to it, less than 2 minutes to play. High to the line, Schilling again, over the far side, Griffith shoots, and lost in the sauce. It comes back over. Stanley puts it out front, scrambling for it. The Marlies as it comes back up to Schilling at the blue line. He gets challenged by Bracco, who knocks it away, and they'll have to regroup. New bodies hitting the ice for the Moose. Minute 30 left to go. Trevor Moore following up the play as they send it back in. Marincin comes back to it. Tries to poke it back over. Liljegren got to it. Bracco didn't quite get a piece of that as Schilling again at the blue line. Turn around, hard shot, and redirected. Didn't miss by much. Griffith again off the wall. A little over a minute still to play. 4-2, the Marlies lead. Bracco tries to get a piece of it. It comes back out, and Moore sends it back down the ice. That one will be picked up for icing.
Now Trevor Moore a little bit ticked off with himself there, because he knew that he had pressure, and he was just trying to chip it into the zone of the Manitoba Moose and not ice it in that instance, as we've got 1:04 to play, and the Moose still trailing by a pair, so they're going to continue along here, 6 against 5, looking to see if they can draw closer again.
Brooks in the circle. Girard opposite. There's the puck on the ground. Lilligren plays it along. Stanley picks it up out of the corner. Moore tries to make a choice and make them make one. That one pops up and into the crowd. Just some kids on their way out to the school bus, perhaps, picked that one up. 55.2 seconds left to go.
Well, good stick in the defensive zone that time by Moore as it deflects off him up and over the glass. So another face-off down in the Toronto zone to the left of Michael Hutchinson.
Juris off the draw. Loverde out front. Carcone. He's got a step away, and now he's got Juris out there. He chips it along the boards. Juris plays it down deep. 40 seconds on the clock here for the Moose to try and get something offensively generated. Daoud pressured by Carcone. It comes across the line. Loverde right back to it. Greening wrestling on the wall. And it drops into the corner. The extra attacker useful here for the Moose, but they've got to get to it. Here's Oligny who opened the scoring for the Moose. Long shot. Picked up Loverde. Wide of the mark from Logan Stanley. And now centered back out. Girard back to Carcone. And he sends it wide with 4 seconds left to go. Carcone was trying to hit the big one.
Well, Carcone looking for the hat trick on that play as the Moose get great pressure down low. And it's going to, go off a body in front. And Logan Stanley, the shot with the opportunity, but standing just to the left of the blue paint was Jansen Harkins, and he would have had an easy sort of touch into the open goal, and they just misconnected. And Toronto looking to just win a face-off, and the game will be over.
Shot, rebound, and Noje knocks one in. No time left, though. Or was there any time left?
Yeah, there was still a second. There was still a second left on the clock when this goes in. So this will count, but they certainly will not have any time left at the end of it to try and see if they can get the equalizer. But Noje, who is cruising in from the left side of Michael Hutchison, as it gets deflected off a couple of bodies in front and gets deposited in the back of the net to close it to 4-3. But just 1 second now left on the clock, and the Toronto Marlies and Coach Sheldon Keefe won't be happy with giving up a late goal. It leaves a bit of a bad taste in your mouth with a solid victory. Here today.
The score flatters the Manitoba Moose, who were beaten in most every facet of this hockey game by the Toronto Marlies, who pick up the win against the Manitoba Moose in front of the fans who spent the day off school and at the hockey game. Bob?
Well, 3 consecutive victories here for the Toronto Marlies, and now find themselves tied for second place with the Utica Comets and the Syracuse Crunch. So should be a very interesting weekend coming forth, Todd Crocker.
28-18, 5-3. We will be back to wrap things up here from Coca-Cola Coliseum. Michael Carcone with a couple of goals in this one. Dmytro Timashov with a couple of assists. And you have been watching Marlies Hockey on Leafs Nation Network. We'll be back.